Hi, it's longtime distributor Don Sanders, who also owns the sales training website sellpromoproducts.com, here to talk to you about selling the number one repeat order product. Yes, selling repeat orders is the way to be successful in this industry. And let's not be like the person on the screen right now because she's upset because she doesn't sell enough repeat orders. With that said, let me, okay, what am I doing? I'm sorry for that little hiccup, but let's get ready to take some notes. So if you don't have a pen and paper, please get one available because I've got some valuable information that I want to share with you, some email addresses that will be helpful for you to obtain samples, and some facts and figures that will help you sell more repeat orders. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Don Sanders. I've been a distributor for more than 30 years. I've sold a great deal of promotional products, but the thing that I'm most proud of in my time in the industry is I actually made really good money. I made 43% profit on my orders. I run a sales training website. Besides still being a distributor today, I don't sell as much as I used to. Back from 1992 to 2004, my ex-wife, myself, a full-time assistant, and 3 SMU students sold over $100,000 a month in product. I made money at this. I did not sell orders just to spite my competitors. I actually tried to do this to make a living. I don't sell the amount I did back in the past because I run this website and I do webinars. But with that said, bottled water is the number one repeat order product, and there is big money to be made by selling this product to your customers and any prospect that you come up with. Now, orders from customers who ordered the same thing before are the key to moving your business to the next level. Successful salespeople sell repetitive orders. And when you do that, you know that your customer is getting value and a high yield on their investments. Everyone wants great bottled water. And here's an example on the screen that I want to share with you right now. I went to a power meeting in Palm Springs, California last August, and the Renaissance Hotel where the meeting was held had these little signs in the bathrooms telling you how great their water was. That water that comes out of the ground out there in the desert is tested at 99.6% pure. They would not be touting this as a fact if they did not believe that that was important to their guests and people that visit that hotel. So with that said, where did bottled water originate? Really think about it. How many products do you sell in this industry that you really know very little bit about? Water is just a common sense product, but where did it originate, when, and where? Well, obviously water's always been around, but water was what civilizations and people had to live next to water to be able to survive. Without it, there can be no people, there can be no civilizations. So vessels were used, like ancient vessels, like the one you're seeing on the screen. They were used to transport water. So in essence, that was bottled water back in the day, maybe 3, 4, 5,000 years ago, however long ago it was. But the Romans actually perfected the transport of water with an aqueduct system, which those aqueducts still survive today. So bottled water originated from having to transport it from one area to another. It's really a common sense solution, but really the truth. In the 1800s, elaborate resorts were built around natural springs and bottled water was born. Parts of the country that had natural spring water that came up through the ground or was easily to obtain were all over this country. There's some on the screen right now in Saratoga Springs, New York, Hot Springs, North Carolina, down to Hot Springs, Arkansas. This became a whole industry, and people with money went to these resorts because drinking the water made them healthier. This was before people were taking so many pills, and there were a lot of natural remedies, and water was one of them. People also bathed in the pure spring water that had a lot of minerals in it. That's a photograph of the Bathhouse Row in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I've been up there a couple of times just because I like history. That is a whole industry that I bet you didn't think about. Other promotional products don't have the same history as bottled water. Now, let's just be honest about it. Here's your typical bottled water seller. He has no clue. He asks no questions. He does nothing but bids on bottled water. He does not understand that all water is not the same. What he does is he enters his name in the box trying to get an order, just like so many distributors do. They bid on price. They don't understand their products. So don't be like the typical bottled water seller. If you want to be a top repeat order seller, you have to know the differences in products. And one of the most important products to know the difference in is bottled water, because Alexis Springs water is not a commodity. Too many suppliers that offer this product in the industry sell this as a commodity item, just like a pencil, the cheapest pencil around, just like a coffee mug, just like a bag, just like a t-shirt. They're commodity items. Bottled water is not a commodity item, and if you look at it like that, you'll be successful selling it. Here's one thing I want to point out to you. Alexis Springs water has a high mineral content. 142 ppb, parts per billion. That's hard to say. But water from Alexis Springs is crisp, refreshing, and whenever you run into a sale and somebody has water cheaper, ask the customer what the solid content are in the bottle. They will not know because no one has ever asked them that. But that is how you differentiate yourself from other distributors, and that's how you make repeat order sales. Again, Alexis Springs water is not a commodity, and here's something that you've got to really pay attention to. Product knowledge creates repeat orders. I don't care what product you're selling, if you're selling hats, if you're selling pens, if you're selling coasters, whatever it is, everything is different. So don't look at a product and just give up and say, well, you know what, they beat me on the price. Well, they beat you on the price because there probably was a difference in the product between the one you were offering and the one your competitor was selling. On the right at the top, those are spring houses in Mount Ida, Arkansas. Water comes off the Ouachita National Forest, comes into those spring houses. The water comes right up out of the ground in those little buildings. I've been up there to see that. In fact, I took that photograph. The water is then piped into those huge stainless steel tanks, then goes into that building where it is bottled. The whole process of the water coming out of the ground and going in the bottle takes place in about 700 feet. Most water suppliers cannot make that statement. In fact, a lot of the water that is bottled in this industry was sewer water. I know that's a gross thing to say, but water that comes from municipal water sources is what a lot of the big bottlers use. It is water that one time came from a water treatment plant. I live in Dallas, and raw sewage has seeped into many of the water sources in this city, which has really made the water kind of nasty. But don't sell your customers water treatment plant water that could have been sewer water. Now, here's the difference between purified and spring water. When you're looking at bottles, when you're selling water, it's going to have a definition of the type of water that is inside that bottle. Many distributors don't know this. Do you? Well, I did not know that specifically until I started doing these webinars. And remember, knowledge destroys cheaper sellers. Again, it doesn't matter what the product. If you know what you're talking about, you can at least defend yourself on your price. Now, here's the difference between purified and spring water. Purified water is not going to kill you. It just doesn't have a very good taste because it was tap water that is filtered, so it lacks a refreshing taste, where spring water comes out of the ground naturally. It was pure and clean before it came out of the water. I'm not going to say it's absolutely pure. It has to be filtered a little bit, but the water is not broken down before it goes in the bottle like purified water is. Now, here's a thing that I think is fascinating. When you sell water for more than 50% of the bottled water suppliers in this industry, they have auctioned off your order. I think this is just fascinating. What these bottlers do is they don't use natural spring water, so they have to keep their costs down. So they will gang up orders. Let's say they get 100 orders from an email blast that goes out tomorrow. They will put those orders out for auction. They'll find the cheapest bottle price they can from a bottle supplier. They will buy the cheapest water they can. They will auction off the printing of the label, and they'll auction off the shipping. This is something that is done frequently. The order is not even produced by these people. They just take the order and they send you the bill. Don't put your customers in water auctions. There's too many steps of what could go wrong. Maybe the bottle is not exactly the way you want. Maybe the imprinting was not good. With Alexis Springs, you know where to go because everything that I just mentioned on the screen is done by them. And here's an important email address, brian@alexissprings.com. He will be happy to talk to you about water sales or send you samples. And there's a nice little skip a column coupon on the screen at the bottom left with the 866-291-3446 number for Alexis Springs. Now, to give you an idea of cost of bottled water from Alexis Springs, there's the price sheet on the screen. It shows you that it comes from 7 different shipping locations, and there are prices from 288 bottles all the way up to 6,048, and showing you a few of the bottle selections at the bottom of the flyer. And there's that skip a column coupon again, and their URL is alexissprings.com. Now, brand your bottles to introduce yourself. I use all kinds of calling cards for myself. I don't have paper business cards. I haven't had one more than 25 years. I sell promotional products, so I use products to pitch myself to show people how I sell products. Obviously, I'd rather give a product than just a piece of paper. There are my shoes, which are part of my marketing logo. I'm not going to go into how I have those shoes, but it differentiates me from other suppliers. I live in Texas, so it's hot here a lot of the time. Which would you rather have if I came calling on you? A bottle of water with my logo on it? I know that you're going to use that because most people who I give my card to, they're just going to throw it away. So don't use paper business cards. Use self-promotion bottles to pitch yourself. Great calling card. Everyone would love to have this as an introductory piece. Again, it's Brian@alexissprings.com. He can help you with self-promotion bottles. Now, to make that point a little bit stronger, let's talk about going. If we went to look at cars on a car lot, you walk the lot to look at cars. Again, no matter what part of the country you're in, it's going to be hot starting soon. So what would you rather have if you walked on a lot when the salesperson walked up to you? Would you rather have them give you a paper card, or would you rather have them hand you a bottle of water which has their information on the label, like Akeem right there at Austin Affinity? He's got a very effective business card because it's something that somebody's going to want. I would think more highly of that dealership by giving me something useful than just a paper card. Plus, it would hydrate me and make me happier when I was looking for those cars. And there's that skip a column pricing coupon again. Now I'm going to talk to you about different industries or markets for bottled water. Banks and financial institutions are a given, just like you're seeing with the Colonial Federal Savings Bank label. And the thing I want you to notice about it, it says natural spring water on the label. Does not say purified water. That's a selling point to me, to my customers, because I think they should point that out when they give that water to people, that they really care about what's in that bottle. People get nervous when they go in banks. I know I do. I had a problem with my line of credit the other day. They had not credited my account. I went up there, and I know it's a silly thing, but I was nervous trying to get that straightened out. And if I had water, it would calm me down a little bit, keep me hydrated, and just by natural thinking, banks and financial institutions are a perfect water buyer. And I want you to look at the labels on the screen right now. There are 3 of them. They all have one thing in common. The American Bank says 100% natural spring water, National Bank, natural spring water, and Grand Bank of Texas, natural spring water. Every label that you sell on a bottle from Alexa Spring can honestly have that statement on the label where other bottlers cannot say that. And I make a really good point about Grand Bank where it says we cherish your health. So the water included is the finest quality. Prior to that label, there's the water that they were selling before, not selling, giving away before. It says purified water by reverse osmosis and oxygenated for taste and purity. Which water would you rather drink? The one that says that, which I don't even know what that really means, or the one that just says natural spring water? And please remember, where does purified water come from? Well, it could be that sewer water coming out of that pipes that leaked into a lake or leaked into a river, wherever the municipality is getting their water from. I do not want to drink anything that had the chance of coming out of those sewer water pipes. And there's our great skip a column pricing coupon. Now, quality verbiage. This is what sells products. Here are several different types of labels or additions you can make to labels. If you sell Alexa Springs water, you put natural spring water, natural mineral water, whatever you want to put on there, it will make the water be enhanced. You can have the logo from your customer, and this is just something that shows that people care. Home builders and mortgage companies, this is another place where you go or a location you go where you're nervous. I know if you're trying to buy a home, you don't know which home to buy. When you go get a mortgage, you're scared about the interest rate, about closing costs, whatever it is with real estate. I get nervous. Anybody would. So home builders and mortgage companies are a prime market to give people bottled water when they walk neighborhoods to look at homes, when they're sitting in a model home trying to make a deal with the salesperson. And realtors also need water when showing houses, again, because that summer's coming up. How cool would it be if you got in a realtor's car and in every cup holder in that car was bottled water with their logo on it, and the realtor points out, if you get thirsty, please have that bottled water. That would make me think that they really cared about me. So real estate, home builders, and mortgage companies are a great market for bottled water. And again, the URL is alexasprings.com. Here's a market that you probably haven't thought about: military and police. National Guard label on the left. We've got a police label on the right. Military and police are always having activities to upgrade their image or to do fundraising. The National Guard buys bottled water. Veterans groups that have reunions. Military reunions for current servers in the military. Police associations can use bottled water. It can be used for neighborhood safety events, police recruitment. I went to the State Fair of Texas here last October, and wouldn't it have been cool if the Dallas Police Department that's out there trying to get new recruits, people to be police people, if they gave me a Dallas Police Department bottle of water, how cool would that have been? And firefighters are a big market because they're always out raising money. What if on these boot programs, I know in Dallas they have the boot programs where the firefighters stand in the streets. What if they had a quantity of bottled water, and when you drove up and stopped at the light, they handed you a bottle of water? I'll bet their contributions would go up. Great way to market themselves. Now, creative uses for plastic bottles. I'm going to just put this right in the middle of this presentation because I think it's really neat. People ask me, Don, what do we do with these plastic bottles? Well, the USA goes through 2,000 bottles every second, and that's filling up landfills. So if you want to make this a recycled product, here are 3 ways to do that. You can make water bottle bird feeders by poking holes in them and adding seeds and berries to them and hanging them up. There's a great little image there to the right that shows you that happening, a garden irrigation system. I never thought about that till I started working on this webinar where you can poke holes in the bottle, tape it up to the hose, and use it to irrigate a part of your garden if you want a little bit better drip system. And how about pencil and storage cups? Cut the top off of them. If you have children, decorate them with craft supplies and use them for storage cups. So if you want to impress your customer and they know you're the go-to distributor, when you sell them the bottled water, also tell them ways that those bottles can be used after the water is consumed. Valet parkers can leave bottled water in vehicles at pickup. There's the happy men right there that are going to deliver your car to you after an event. Again, water in cup holders left are the valet parkers handing it to people when they walk out of a cocktail party. If you've been to one and a cocktail party and a little bit overserved, the water is something that you need to get hydrated on the way home. And there's a great looking Valet Premium Valet label on the screen that says natural spring water. Big market here. Again, samples, Brian at alexissprings.com. Now, big money is spent at the dentist and orthodontist. I know that when I go get my teeth cleaned, it costs me, I don't know, they try and x-ray me and all that kind of stuff over there, maybe 180, 190 bucks I give them. Well, I would love for them to give me a bottle of water when I leave there because you're usually thirsty when you get your teeth cleaned or work done. And if you have children, you're spending a lot of money at the orthodontist. So when you go in there and you're writing that check or giving them that credit card, just pitch them on doing bottled water that they give children, teenagers, or adults after they've had their dental appointment. After all, you're giving them money, they can give you some back. And there are 6 bottle choices showing on the screen right there that Alexis Springs has a full selection of water bottle choices. Golf clubs and charity tournaments, big user of bottled water. You're seeing the Rolling Hills Country Club label on the screen right now. And as I'm going to point out, it says natural spring water. This is great for people that are going to think about joining a club, going out to visit the golf club. The marketing person or whoever is trying to sell them the membership can hand them the bottled water, just like we talked about the car man. Same thing, the card could be on the bottled water. It's also great for golf tournaments, charity golf tournaments. A lot of them happen in the spring. That time is now, or in the fall. Everyone has bottled water in their golf carts. It doesn't matter what golfing activity, bottled water is a natural. How about funeral homes and mortuaries? You talk about being nervous. When death comes, people are nervous and dehydrated. That is the truth. When my father died, we went over to make the arrangements. I was nervous about it, even though my dad was older when he died, and I was pretty much at peace with it. But I was still nervous. We went over to try and make sure the service was done correctly. Other things that are tied to this industry would be pre-need planning. When you pre-plan your funeral, the person who comes out to your home, or if you're visiting the funeral home or mortuary to do this, they can hand you bottled water. It is needed on the day of the funeral. What if there was bottled water on a table before you enter the chapel? Flower shops who do sprays and also deliver flowers to homes where memorial services are held. What if they brought bottled water with their logo out to give everyone who is there? Limo companies are a big business in the funeral and death industry. Same thing, where the bottled water goes in the cup holders of the limos. And how about security companies? People are so devious today, they'll read obituaries and go break into houses when people are at funerals. So people are hiring security guards to stay in their home. What if that person bought bottled water and left it on the counter of the bereaved family with a note when they left about how much they appreciated their business? Little thinking out of the box there on other services that are needed for the death industry. Now, everybody should be selling people that they do business with. I don't care what product it is, if it's bottled water or any other product, when I give somebody money, I'm going to chat them up about giving me some money back. Sell water where you do business. Bitten Tucker's dry cleaner right there on the screen. There's the happy young lady picking up her dry cleaning. Well, why doesn't she pitch them on bottled water, just like Bibbin Tucker's obviously has been pitched on it because they have bottled water. The dry cleaner, I just talked about that. How about your vet? I've got to take my little 3.5-year-old dog up to the vet to get her shots. When I go up there next week, I'm going to talk to them about water. If I go in a restaurant, a bar, I'm going to find that manager and chat them up about selling them some bottled water, your favorite pizza place. How about if the pizza is delivered to your house and the pizza place brings a bottle of water with them, and it could include pictures of their pizza on the label. We talked about banks where you bank. Everybody has a realtor. You give your realtor a 6% commission, then they should give you some bottled water orders. How about exterminators, people that come and make sure your house is bug free? Or landscapers, people come out, do your trees, cut your grass. They're all prospects for bottled water. Now, no problem with rush orders. There are those bottles that we're off that Alexa Springs is offering again, but Amazon has given you a great opportunity to make quick sales. Everybody wants something today. They want it now. When I buy office supplies, or I just bought a bunch of dog food for Chewy.com. It came the next day. That was a cool thing instead of me having to go to the pet store and lug it home. Same way with Amazon. That gives you the chance to sell rush orders because Amazon delivers quickly. Well, you're going to need to have some bottled water orders delivered quickly. And with Alexa Springs, that is so easy because look at all the shipping locations they have. 2, 4, 6, 7 different locations in America to ship water from. So if you need it quick, it's going to be no problem getting an order in a fast way. Now, apartments, senior residential facilities, condominiums are all great prospects. You need to stay hydrated when walking properties. People come and look at apartments. They want to go see exactly where their location is. The leasing agent hands them a bottle of water, or when you go back to the office to sign the lease, bottled water is given them. How about at senior living facilities? Right there at the bottom right is a lens cleaning cloth for Parkwood. That's where my ex-mother-in-law lived. That property had bottled water. The day that my younger stepdaughter and I went and looked at that property for Dorothy, Jenny and I went to look at 4 properties, and my ex-wife and my older daughter went to look at 4 properties. That was a total of 8, so we could decide which one was better. For Dorothy, well, when Jenny and I went to Parkwood, they gave us a bottle of water with their logo. That was part of the imprint that was on that bottle of water. I thought that was so cool. That is where my ex-mother-in-law ended up moving to. Now, vehicle dealers, car washes, auto repair and detail shops are all perfect for bottled water. There's those cup holders up on the right. The young lady is looking at the estimate, or she is looking at what the repair person has done to her car. When she gets in that car and drives off, that man is going to have left a bottle of water with that car dealership logo in the cup holder in the front seat. Same way with car washes. You go get your car washed or detailed, the person who does that leaves the bottled water in the cup holder, or it is handed to you by the car wash person when you go through these automated car wash systems. When you pay the bill, they just hand you one. How cool is that? Make you want to come back. Just like Speedy B Car Wash and Lube right there. They understand this, and their business is up because they give bottled water to their patrons. And there's my skip a column coupon again. Hotels and resorts, big buyers of bottled water. Alexa Springs has several big customers or distributors who sell big resorts, small hotels, hotel chains, motels. This is a place where people consume water. And the Western Stonebriar Resort up in North Dallas, Again, it says natural spring water. How about in the summer at swimming pools? You have guests sitting out at the swimming pool. What if the manager walked out and gave everybody at the pool a bottle of water with their logo on it? It would make me think that they appreciated my business. And when I came back to that city, I would probably stay there again. How about for golf clubs and charity tournaments? Here we are again with golf clubs. I want to go over this again because I think it is a big, big market, mainly to gain new members. If you provide guests with cool, refreshing water when golfing, they will notice and the time and effort you put into making them and current members happy. I know this is kind of redundant talking about golf, but I think it's just a terrific way to sell water. Now, before we get through here, please stay with me. Brian at Alexis Springs will be happy to help you make sales. And the way that he does that, he will get on a conference call with you, with your customer. The customer will never know that he works for Alexis Springs. He will conference in with you. So if you have a customer who wants a big quantity of water or one that you're having a hard time selling, if you'll contact Brian Fitchner, Brian at alexissprings.com, he will get on that call. They will never know that he does not work with you, and he will talk that customer through any questions they might have about bottle size, bottle purity, production, shipping, whatever it is. So take advantage of this. They won't try and steal your customers like a lot of suppliers will. They will treat you right. Now, if you'd like to have the replay of the webinar, you can email me at don@sellpromoproducts.com. I'll be happy to send you the replay. And Brian at alexissprings.com. Again, that's the email to get a hold of Brian on those conference calls or for samples. There's the skip a column coupon pricing coupon again that I've included. 866-291-3346 is where you need to call. I really want to thank you for listening today, and I'm going to let this stay up on the screen where you can see the pricing as it changes on the different quantities. And if I can ever help you with anything promotional products related, if you'll just send me an email or give me a call, there is my shoe card on the screen for sellpromoproducts.com. There's my phone number. Again, it's Don at sellpromoproducts.com. I can't say anything except I really appreciate you listening, and I hope I've been able to help you learn a little bit more about selling the #1 repeat order. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks.